The first time the Bible referred to the bottomless pit in the book of Revelation, it was in respect to the fifth trumpet of God's wrath, which will be sounded during the Great Tribulation. The moment the trumpet was sounded, John saw a star which fell from heaven. The star is a symbolism of an angel to whom was handed the key of the bottomless pit. That angel was given the authority to open the bottomless pit, and great smoke rose out of it, and darkened the air, and the sun were darkened. And there arose locusts from the smoke, which had the power of scorpions to torment the people of the earth by their sting. The star that fell from heaven is an angel. The exact identity of who this angel is not known, but there are two things that are clear in the book of Revelation. The first of which is that this angel was given the key to the bottomless pit. The Bible does not specify who exactly gives this angel the key to the abyss, but it is plausible that it is either God or Jesus, or an angel tasked with holding the key. Most Bible scholars believe the one who holds the keys is none other than Jesus Christ. They argue that only Christ has a right to the keys of all spiritual realms, and nobody can open what he shuts or shut what he opens except they borrow the key from him. Revelation chapter 3 verse 7. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, These things say he who is holy, he who is true, he who has the key of David, he who opens and no one shuts, and shuts and no one opens. Here is represented the fact that Christ allows Satan to be active within limits while the world lasts. The second thing we know about the abyss is that the abyss has a king who dwells there, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in Greek is Apollyon, the destroyer. Revelation chapter 9 verse 11 says, And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue have his name Apollyon. So, Abaddon is the angel in charge of the bottomless pit, an angel of destruction, and the archangel of the locusts. According to Jewish theology, the belief that the abyss is a place of evil spirits agree with the fact that mysterious locusts will rise from it to torment the people of the earth. These locusts are not the usual locusts people know. They are terrific and poisonous, and we see their description in Revelation chapter 9, verse 7 through 9. Which gives you an idea of the type of creatures that dwell in the abyss. These frightening creatures are housed in the abyss, waiting for their time to be released. The abyss is where Satan will be bound for 1,000 years. Revelation chapter 20, verse 1 through 3. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. The devil will be cast into the bottomless pit at the end of the Great Tribulation for a period of 1,000 years. The abyss is a mystery. It is called the bottomless pit. That is, it has no end, and yet the devil will be captured, bound, and thrown into its unfathomable pit for millennia. At the end of the 1,000 years, the devil will be brought out again without struggle by the same angel. The devil will be chained and locked up in the abyss. Imagine the world without the devil. The 1,000 years of Satan's imprisonment in this dark and unfathomable pit is the same years the righteous will experience the millennial reign of Christ on earth. He will be confined in the dark pit for the period of time God has appointed. One thing you need to understand is that Satan is a powerful, powerful being, but he is nowhere near the level of God. They are not even in the same league. Sometimes you see pictures of God and the devil arm wrestling, and this creates the dangerous illusion that God and Satan are in equal playing fields. They are not. Satan in his power can only go so far. Satan in his power can only do so much. His power has limits. When Jesus came down to this earth and died on the cross, he allowed it to happen. When he was wounded For our transgressions, he allowed it to happen. When he was bruised for our iniquities, he allowed it to happen. When he came down to this earth, he laid down his life. He wasn't killed. You can't kill God. Jesus is God. You can't kill God. He laid down his life. At any point Jesus wanted, he could have called legions of angels to destroy every living soul on the earth. Even when Jesus laid down his life, he was in complete and utter control. When Satan is locked up for the 1,000 years, he won't be in control because he is not all-powerful. His power is limited. Even though Satan is described as the god of this world right now, his power is limited. God only permits him to only go so far. Even right now, his power is being restrained by the Holy Spirit, and the Bible proves this. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. The he who is spoken of is no one other than the Holy Spirit. For now, Satan and the man of sin are being restrained. The principle of their working is now present. The mystery of lawlessness is already at work. But at the right time, the Holy Spirit, he who restrains their full revelation, will be taken out of the way. Believe me, if the Holy Spirit was not holding him, restraining him, all hell would be breaking loose on earth right now. So, Satan will be locked up in the abyss for 1,000 years, and then he will be released, and then he will be cast into the lake of fire. The abyss is seen in the visions as an evil deep, a great and bottomless hole. It represents the power of darkness. Some argue that the abyss is closely associated with a place called Tartarus. This is an area of contention amongst Bible scholars. It's possible that the abyss and Tartarus are two separate locations, or even one place with two different names. I will leave you to come to your own conclusion on whether it is the same place or two different locations. The KJV uses the word hell to describe the place where the fallen angels were cast to await judgment. 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 4. For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. Here, Apostle Peter knew by revelation that the fallen angels were kept in chains of darkness before the judgment day. This description tallies with the characteristics of the abyss. Tartarus is thought to be the deepest abyss of Hades, or hell. How some people view the abyss in Tartarus is that they are two separate countries right next to each other, but in the same continent. It is the place where God holds in chains those angels that left their first estate, the angels that chose to join Satan in his rebellion against God. Jude chapter 1, verse 6. Jude chapter 1, verse 6 states, And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. In intertestamental Jewish literature, the abyss was the underworld, the realm of the rebellious spirits. Specifically, the abyss was often seen as a prison for demons and fallen angels. This truly suggests the abyss is the evilest place in all of the universe. The abyss, the evilest place in all of the universe. The abyss, the bottomless pit. Tartarus, Gehenna, the lake of fire, outer darkness. I am sure you have heard these words before, and you may have not been exactly sure what these are. These words are places. The Bible tells us there are some strange things under the earth, very strange and unusual things under the earth. But these are topics that are rarely preached in the church today. They are topics that are typically avoided because they are not cut and dry, straightforward theological topics. But I personally am a Bible believer and believe that everything in this Bible was written for our understanding and knowledge, and for us not to dance around subjects or avoid them. Today, we are carrying out a biblical study on the evilest place in the universe, the abyss. Some people believe that the abyss is the same as hell, but that is not correct. The abyss is not the same place as hell. It is spoken about in the Bible differently from hell. Some people believe the abyss is the lake of fire, but the abyss is not the lake of fire. The abyss is the evilest of all places in the whole universe, but it is separate from hell or the lake of fire and has distinct features from hell or the lake of fire. What exactly is the abyss? Where is the abyss? And what scriptural relevance is attached to it? The abyss is described in the Bible as the bottomless pit. In the King James Version of the Bible, the word bottomless and pit occur in 7 verses of the Bible, all in the book of Revelation. Revelation chapter 9 verse 1, Revelation chapter 9 verse 2, Revelation chapter 9 verse 11, Revelation chapter 11 verse 7, Revelation chapter 17 verse 8, Revelation chapter 20 verse 1, and chapter 20 verse 3. All these references are not referring to hell, but abyss as a bottomless pit, which is separate from hell. The abyss is an unfathomable, deep, or boundless place. The word abyss is from the Greek word abyssos, meaning bottomless, unfathomable, or boundless. In the Bible and in Jewish theology, the abyss is often a metaphorical reference to the place of evil spirits. Sometimes the abyss is pictured as a deep or bottomless hole in the earth.
And the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God on their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion, when he striketh a man. And in those days shall man seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men, and they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. And they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots, of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there was stings on their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue has his name Apollyon. One woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter.